Welcome back to Cooking with Tammy Live. I'm Tammy and today I'm going to show you how to make my absolutely delicious roasted garlic mashed potatoes. And get this, with my delicious honey glazed garlic salmon. Woo! How delicious does that sound? Yes, so without further ado, we are going to jump right in and get this video started. Alrighty, as you can see, front and center, I have my hot water and it's literally at a rolling boil. So what we're going to do first and foremost is we are going to add our potatoes to this hot water and get the boiling process with these potatoes started. I already added a little salt to the water. That way it will give it flavor as the potatoes are boiling. I don't want to go in and like literally just pour it in there because the water's hot, so we're just going to take it slow. And we're going to add one by one, honestly, because this water is hot. Alrighty. How is everybody doing? I hope everyone is doing great. And I hope all of you guys have a smile on your face. Yes. Alrighty. Shake it around a little bit, get everything settled. And we are going to cover our pot halfway, not all the way, because once it gets hot again and it comes back up to temperature, it's going to bubble over and start, it's going to make a mess. So we're going to give it a little space, just like that, to allow everything to stay down in the pot. We don't want that water boiling over. Anyway, as I mentioned, we are making roasted garlic mashed potatoes, all right? So I have with me today some whole garlic cloves. Yes, I do. And what we're going to do is we are going to take the tops off of our garlic cloves. But first, I'm going to put my pan right here. Get this out the way. And we are going to cut the heads off, or should I say the top? We're going to cut the top off of the garlic. So that way, this part of the garlic is exposed. Look, make sure once you cut it off, you check, make sure nothing is rotten. If it is, you got to get rid of it. Make sure it's good to go. Just like that, right? Looks perfect and smells amazing. What we're going to do is we are going to add some oil, olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, add whatever you have into the garlic. And I'm gonna put some foil paper just in case I make a mess. And we are gonna cover it up and place it into the oven to roast. That's why we call it garlic roasted potatoes, because we're roasting our garlic. I see a lot of people sauteing garlic on their stovetop and adding it to the potatoes and calling it roasted garlic mashed potatoes. How is it roasted? Roasting starts in the oven. So, hey, let's do it the right way. Point blank period. Let's just do it the right way. Add that oil. Allow that garlic to be saturated. And just like the other one, we're going to close it up. We're going to place it in our oven at literally 375 degrees Fahrenheit to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And we are going to check on our garlic bulbs in maybe, I would say, about 10 to 15 minutes, because what we're looking for is for our garlic to brown really nicely and obviously be roasted and get even softer. Yes, so what I'm going to do in the meanwhile, while my potatoes are boiling, which usually takes about 20 minutes to be fork tender, we're going to place our garlic into the oven and allow them to roast, and everything should come together and finish in the perfect timing. Now that our potatoes are boiling and doing its thing, what we're going to do is we're going to work on making our delicious honey garlic glazed salmon. Alrighty, first things first, we have our salmon right here looking absolutely beautiful. We also have our ground black pepper as well as paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and salt. And this is what we're going to use to season our salmon. I'm going to cut my salmon into, let's see, about maybe 3 slices. Yes. So make sure your knife is really sharp. Measure it out correctly. And just glide the knife right on down. This should be perfect right here. And that's it, yes. Everything works out better when your knife is nice and sharp. It makes the job so much easier, trust me. All right, so these 3 pieces right here and a little bit, nothing goes to waste, all right? What I'm gonna do is I have my ground black pepper. I'm gonna add it to my smoked paprika, as well as the onion powder, salt, and garlic powder. And we're just gonna give everything a good mix, combine all of the ingredients. I love this recipe, guys, because it's quick and easy, and the best thing about it is the finalization of it, absolutely delicious. I mean, sticky, sweet, oh my goodness, slightly savory and everything, just absolutely delicious. All right, the seasonings are combined, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take some oil, just a little bit of olive oil, not too much, and we're gonna drizzle it on, just like that. Rub it in. Front and back. And we are gonna take some of our seasoning mix and we're gonna add it on top of the fish and season it really good. Just rub it in, pat it in gently because we're working with fish and we don't wanna bruise it. Fish is really delicate, honestly. Make sure we have enough seasoning. We want flavors throughout our salmon. Add just a little bit more. Just like that. And our little piece right there. I could have honestly left it on, but of course, a presentation, I wanted like 3 equal pieces. Turn it over, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna season the back as well. Massage the seasoning into the fish, just like that. And once the skillet is hot, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sear our salmon pieces. We are gonna sear our fish, yes, but we're not gonna overcook it. So it's really important to make sure that skillet is nice and hot. So once the fish hits the pan, it literally starts to sear and not simmer. We're not looking for the fish to simmer. We want it to sear so that way it gets a nice color and a nice crispy outer crust, so to speak. We're gonna add just a little bit of oil, just a tad bit, just enough to coat the pan. Not to deep fry, but to coat the pan. Now that our oil is nice and hot, and it's really important to use an oil with a high smoke point because you want your oil to almost be like literally smoking. Literally, as they say, smoking hot. No pun intended. And we're gonna place the salmon skin side down, and that's what you need to hear right there. That sound is money. Just like that. Perfect. When flipping the salmon, you gotta be careful because if not, it's gonna break on you. It's a really delicate fish. So yeah, this is like literally, this is used to flip fish, but you can also definitely, I've used the regular spatula before when it comes to flipping my fish, you know, and it works out perfectly well. You just have to make sure you get a good handle on it and make sure you get it like literally under there. Even if you need to use a fork to help you out, you know, use a fork. And guess what? This is perfectly done. Just look, absolutely beautiful. Our salmon is not overcooked. The skin is perfect. It's nice and crispy and it's still nice and pink. Oh my God, this salmon is cooked to perfection. Anyway, To this hot pan, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on making our sauce. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some butter. Allow this butter to melt. We are going to add our minced garlic. Can't have honey garlic sauce without the garlic. You need that garlic. Give it a good mix. Allow the butter to melt. Allow the butter to melt and the garlic to toast up, but not burnt, but toasted. Turn it up just a bit. We are cooking today, and in the meanwhile, while we're working on our sauce, of course, our potatoes are still boiling. They're not fork tender just yet, but they're almost there. And not to mention, our roasted garlic is in the oven, doing its thing, roasting up nicely. Everything is going to come together absolutely perfect. Yes. Continue mixing. Next thing to this pan, we're going to add our honey. Honey, where you at? I'm right here. Give it a good mix. Make sure to incorporate the honey with the garlic and the butter mixture. Next things next. We have our soy sauce, which we're gonna add, as well as our lemon juice, our sriracha, and of course, you control how much spice you want to add to this dish by the amount of sriracha you decide to add. If you don't want it spicy at all, of course, hold back on the sriracha. But if you want it spicy, add more. And yeah, just basically it's up to you. Totally up to you. Give it a good stir. Allow the sauce to reduce just a bit. We want a good reduction on this sauce. Perfect. Also to this sauce, I'm gonna add a little bit of brown sugar because I want it to be somewhat sweet, not too sweet, but I wanna have that contrast of sweetness and spiciness as well. And I'm gonna add a little bit of parsley. Give it a good mix. And we are gonna add our salmon back to the sauce. At this point, it's not even like hot anymore, so that's why I'm literally handling it like that. I want to give you a good look at the salmon. Look at how beautiful, right? Perfect. Okay, yes, get back in there. We don't need any problems. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spoon the sauce over the salmon. Just like that. This is gorgeous. Not to mention, it smells terrific. It smells amazing. I don't know if I want to say terrific, amazing, but trust me, all of those words combined is what the salmon is right now. Absolutely gorgeous. Spoon it over, allow the sauce to thicken up just a bit more so it has that nice glazy effect. Not only do we want our fish to be saturated with the sauce, but we also want our fish to continue cooking. And the heat from the sauce, of course, is simmering in the sauce. So the heat from the sauce is going to definitely complete the cooking process. So we're literally handling two things at one time. We're saturating the salmon with the sauce, and we're also continuously cooking the salmon as well as we continue to pour the hot sauce on top of it. And this is it right here, guys. Our delicious honey garlic glazed salmon is finished. We are done. Absolutely quick and easy. I mean, most of us have these ingredients at home. It's nothing to like literally put together. Just pull maybe like what, a couple ingredients, and this is it. Yes, once again, honey garlic glazed salmon, absolutely delicious. I eat it all the time, and I figure, guess what? It's time to share this recipe. Anyway, while Our salmon is gonna sit in our sauce and continue to pick up the wonderful flavors from the sauce. What we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to work on our potatoes. As of this point, it's about that time. We are gonna mash our potatoes and we're gonna get our roasted garlic, incorporate everything, and we're gonna put this magic together, guys. We are gonna make it happen. Anyway, continue watching and I'll be right back. And without further ado, we are gonna get to mashing our potatoes. So what I'm gonna do is, as you can see, these potatoes are like literally still hot, fresh off the fire. Get it all out. All right, just continue mashing. So far, everything is done. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our half and half. Of course, you can add heavy cream. It's gonna give it even more of a rich flavor. From time to time, I do alternate. Sometimes I do half and half. And a lot of times I do heavy cream. The heavy cream, like I said, it gives it a really, really good flavor, and it complements the butter and make it taste even more creamier. Perfect. And we are gonna add our butter. Who doesn't like nice whipped buttery mashed potatoes? Get it in there, put it right here for now, and just make sure we incorporate everything together. Alrighty, we're gonna switch. We're gonna use the spatula. Perfect. And that is it. I'm gonna put the potatoes off to the side and we are gonna work on our roasted garlic. Thank you, babes. And trust me, there is a big difference with roasting the garlic. The smell, it just has such a beautiful smell, to be honest with you. Just take it out of the shell. Yeah, it's a little bit more work, but it's so well worth it. I mean, after all, if you're gonna call it roasted garlic potatoes, you gotta roast the garlic. It's only right. Just gonna take it out, put it right there. And what I did was, as you saw, I added a little olive oil to the garlic, placed it in foil paper, and I placed it into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I allowed it to just basically roast. I checked on it periodically. Now, when you check on the garlic, it's gonna be very hot because remember, we added oil to it. So it's gonna be extremely hot. So make sure you go in there with caution. Just don't go in there and literally touch it or grab it because the oil at that point in time is very, very hot. And you do not wanna get burned, trust me. All right, I think I could let me see, squeeze it on out. Okay, just like that. Take it out. It might look kind of crazy, but take it from me. It's gonna make the ultimate difference. Okay, just like that. Let's clean up a bit. Get the shell out of there. And some of the garlic pieces are whole. So I'm just gonna go in there and like literally just cut it up just a bit. I know my hands are gonna be smelling like garlic once I'm done. And that's perfect. Let's bring our mashed potatoes back. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this roasted garlic and we're gonna add it to the potatoes, just like that. And we are gonna incorporate the garlic with the mash. And let me tell you something, when you share, like literally plate these potatoes and you bite into the roasted garlic, it's gonna be like magic in your mouth. It gives the mashed potatoes such a different taste and flavor. It just steps it up a notch. And this, my friends, is roasted garlic mashed potatoes. Yes. All right, it is time to plate. We are gonna plate our salmon as well as our potatoes, and we'll be right back, and I'm gonna show you what everything looks like, and I'm gonna, of course, do a taste test and let you know how it tastes and so on and so forth. All right, welcome back. Without further ado, let's do this. I am gonna take a good amount of mash and I'm gonna place it right in the center of the plate because of course you guys know it's all about the staging. I see my little roasted garlic right there just peeking through. Looks absolutely beautiful. Can't wait to sink my teeth into it, honestly. That's perfect. And we are gonna go in and we are gonna get our delicious garlic honey glazed salmon, and we are gonna place it right smack in the center, just like that. We're gonna go in and we're gonna hit it off with some of this delicious glaze. Woo, beautiful, right? And we're just gonna let it run down. Just allow it to do its thing. Literally. Perfect. Garlicky mashed potatoes with our delicious honey glazed garlic salmon. Whoa, absolutely beautiful. Let me just clean my plate up just a bit. It's all about that presentation. Look at this amazing dish. We are ready to sink our teeth into this delicious 5-star meal. I'm gonna say 5-star because look at the presentation. Look at all of the ingredients that we used and how everything came together. Absolutely beautiful. This is definitely perfection on a plate. Who needs to go out and spend $100 on a plate when we can actually recreate this at home ourselves, right? That's what I'm here for, to show you guys how to recreate the same recipes. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's dig in. Yes. Woo wee. Let me start with the salmon. Salmon is perfectly cooked. It's not overcooked, nice and tender. Wow, absolutely delicious. Not to mention our buttery, creamy, garlicky, melt in your mouth mashed potatoes. Wow, absolutely delicious. Everything ties together. This is definitely absolutely phenomenal. Amazing. Anyway, get your printable copy at cookingwithtammy.recipes. And until next time, guys, I catch you in another video.